Hello, storytellers. It's Storytelling Ron, and I'm here to talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance because I've just started playing it. And I was intrigued because I am going to do a For the Lord RPG in the same period, and I wanted to, tie this together. And my wife's out of town; she's in New York City, so I'm doing her work. So I'm gonna play a little bit. I haven't played a game in quite a while, and especially a story-driven game like this. And obviously, this is one of the settings I want to do, and that's the kind of armor I wear and fight in. But let me just kind of go through some of the imagery. Well, I'll just let it scroll, I guess. But it's actually a hard game, even on normal. I wish there was a baby setting because I really just want to play. I just want to click really fast and go through the fighting. I don't want to learn how to fight. I've already spent years learning how to fight the actual armor and stuff. I'm not trying to brag. I'm really just tired. But when I'm playing this game, it's like, okay, I really don't want to do this over with a mouse and keyboard. And besides, I'm still having some sort of joint issues with the carnivore diet. But so I'm like, I don't even want to do the realism in this game. I just want to do like PlayStation. I just want to do Mortal Kombat, clicking or something. And the armor is all very familiar to me. So that's pretty cool that they show the accurate stuff, the Brigadine and then the plate. And those helms and stuff, and the gauntlets. So that's pretty cool. And the exhaustion part of it is really, But anyway, my real point here is this has a lot of Christianity in it, and obviously the culture is Christian. It's a culturally Christian setting, which is really cool because everyone there says Lord and God bless you, and like as their salutations, their greetings. There's a bit of like, say, blasphemy, like, oh, Jesus Christ, or oh my God, and then those are generally though when there's something, bad happening. It's not meant to be sort of just a light thing. They do have, I have encountered, they've got churches, they got the clergy. They do have one scene early on, because I'm only at the beginning-ish, a little past the intro part, where they do, kind of insult the clergy, or clergy says something wrong, or like if they don't have a Christian burial, they'll be in purgatory, and that's obviously one of the Catholic doctrines I disagree with. And Protestants were coming up in this period, and this is the period where the Catholic Church had a schism, and there's a sort of I would personally view of it a lot of corruption, where they got to do all those pay to play confessionals and it was getting kind of corrupt and unwieldy at one point. And so that's why the Protestants, and Martin Luther came about, was against this pay to get a confession sort of thing, or to be forgiven of your, whatever the Lord or bad guy was doing. But I really like the way and this is a goal of mine in Christian and For the Lord RPG, is to show how Christians had to deal with things in a violent world, or in in a confrontational thing. Now in this game, it's really just Christians against Christians, and then which ones are acting properly, which ones are not, but the motivations too of the different factions, the king and then the usurper, or whatever it is called. There's a king that's really sort of corrupt and bad, and then another that is trying to take over. So there's a lot of violence due to that, and that's kind of like, I really like the setting in the sense of that, the reality of that, like as I'm playing it, I'm a Christian, so maybe I see it in a better, clearer lens. I don't know, but I feel like, it's really good at showing that the struggle for, creating civilization does have violence because people disagree. And then, like, just like your neighbors, think of it in a small scale, and then plenty of neighbors have problems with each other, and then they have to go to the law. Well, here the law is whoever is on top, and then violence is required to sort of finalize that. You and I can deal as neighbors with laws because we have a court system and police, and we have that is the force of violence that we don't go there because we just give it to them. But in an instance like this, right, there's no law, there's no court system. You have to deal with each other, and at some point the disagreements are so big that then they have to fight it out, and it becomes violent. and people die, and it seems very cruel. And I'm not I'm not justifying violence, but I'm saying, right, we're missing that in history. We're forgetting that people have to deal with each other, and then there becomes incredible disagreements on how the kingdom is run, and and so these lords have to figure it out and battle each other until one shuts up and submits. And there's a lot of pride and ego in man. And I really like too the way they show nobles versus peasants, and how the nobility in a has to be, and I'm seeing this today, the nobility or the rich or whoever, they have targets on their back, because of their wealth, because of their power. And all the peasants might be meek and whatever, but they want to go after that target too. And so the nobility have to have a very a wall to protect themselves, literally to protect themselves from the target that's on their back. And that's something we sort of ignore. We always say tax the rich or go after the rich, or the rich and the rich are so stuck up and elitist. But in this game, it touches on that. But the elite have to, or if you become successful, you have to then become very defensive in your life. You have to protect yourself, your finances. All the celebrities, the mindsets they have now, the craziness to defend. I just talked to a famous actor, by the way, and I live in Hollywood. And this guy's been, I'm not going to say who or anything like that, keep his privacy, but very famous actor. But his home was burglarized 7 times. And then he recently just got a gun put to his head, and got his stuff stolen. So he's got a target on his back. It's very sad. So now he's got to live a life where he is an a-hole to you and me or whatever, right? So that's, and I haven't been burgled yet or whatever, and because nobody knows who I am or whatever. So that, so the lords and the people that are celebrities or whatever, they have to be like that. They have to shut down, and for us to, what a bunch of stuck-ups, or what a bunch of elitist rich, we got to tax, and I hate how Democrats sort of separate us out in groups like that. But the nobility in here, it's really interesting. They show them very fairly, like good, bad, having to judge things from their point of view, having a target on their back. I mean, they have a target on their back, not just from the poor, but from other nobles, and betrayal. Some are kind, but some are betrayal, could betray or whatever. So that's really cool about this game in that sense. And it really does give you a point of view that I want to, in For the Lord RPG, as showing that, compromise and difficulties always arise, even in a Christian world. What is missing from this game, from my, my mission or ministry or whatever, in a business ministry, is that it doesn't show the paganism that was wrought throughout, that was very manipulative at this period. And there was an explosion of witches in this same period that they're playing in, or that the setting is in. But they and the witches and the paganism was affecting people throughout, in the cities and in the countryside. So they're not just showing that part of it, because a lot of them still had the evil spirits, local evil spirits, luck charms, love potions. All that stuff was permeated, and that part is being kind of erased, which to me is a problem, because we're not showing the difficulties that paganism has wrought throughout Christian history, and you all see it today. That's all paganism. Everything that's going on today in the Democrat Party and what they're pushing is paganism. It's witchcraft. It's sorcery, alchemy. And alchemy in the sense of drugs. And, right? I mean, that's what they're doing. So this is a cool game if you have the time. If you don't have the time, don't play it. It's time consuming. So I don't recommend it if you don't have the time. I have a little bit of time, but I have a homeschool convention coming up in a few days. I'm just really tired, and I have the luxury of being able to be tired. Unlike many of you who got to work, I have the luxury of being lazy and tired. Well, I'm not lazy. I'm just, I picked this game specifically because I want to it to give me influence for the Lord RPG, and wanted just a visual and be in a world and feel it and sense it. And I think it's pretty cool that way. I don't know. I don't know if I'll finish the game. I'll probably just go through a little more, and then once I get back on track with getting back to the For the Lord RPG, I might touch on it. But that's kind of hard because it's kind of like Skyrim, where you're walking around doing quests, and it's more muted or more simple. It's not nothing fantastical about it. So yeah, that's my little blah 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 on this Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's pretty cool. It's neat. It's historically very about as accurate as you can get for a game, and even sort of like a book. It feels right, like the dialogue and the acting and all that. So that's it. I just want to do a quick video on that. That is pretty cool. But I'll be getting. I'm already working on stuff, but I'll be sort of refocusing after this convention. I've had a series of. I had a big convention, the NRB. I had a wedding. I had all this stuff. I had 3 days here where I'm sort of. Then I got to do this convention, and then after that, probably take a couple days off again and play this, and then I got to go full bore on For the Lord RPG again and get that going with a lot more, I think stuff. And I got a whole notebook full of adventures I got to write out and bring up for the Lord RPG, especially the Dark Ages setting. I have a lot, and I've read a lot too. I've been reading a lot. All right, that's it for now. Thanks, friend. Remember, in the game of life, roll holy dice.